Thanks for joining us again for Fantastic Friday. We are going to be sketching an owl, the basic shapes, then painting the owl. As you can see, it's going to have two layers. The bottom layer is going to be white and the top layer of many colors. You're going to need a black piece of paper, construction paper will work, color pencils or crayons to sketch the shapes out. White or yellow, color pencil or crayons. You will also need a top to trace around a circle, 2 or 2.5 inches wide. So get all your materials ready and let's get started. Let's get started. I have my black piece of paper down, my light colored pencil or crayon. I'm measuring down 4 fingers from the top of my black paper. 4 fingers down, and I'm gonna make a dot. Okay, now I'm making a larger dot so you guys could see. 2 fingers down from the first dot, and in the middle, another dot. Next, I want to get my top that's 2 or 2.5 inches wide or around. I want to lay it by the second circle in the middle, and I'm going to trace all the way around it. Then I'm going to move it on the other side where the 2 circles are touching and trace around it again. Give you a few minutes to do that. Next, at the top circle, we are going to do the V shape, the top of the owl's head, all right? So the bottom of the V is going to be here. Looks like a fancy V right there. All right, so we have our V, we have our 2 circles. Next, we are going to draw the beak. It kind of looks like a long, skinny beak. It's actually 3 or 4 fingers, whichever you want to do, tall. So you can measure it or you can just draw it on your own. It's going to be in the middle, right like this. Half moon down. So here I have my beak. Next, I'm going to draw a half moon here and here with my light colored pencil on each side of the beak. Half moon. This is going to be for the chest or belly area. Then we're going to do the top of the, or we'll say the shoulders. Here, half moon. Again with the pencil. I'm going to come over to the side. Half moon. It's going to go over and off the page. All right, next, I want to do these little, looks kind of like a comma in going opposite directions in each eye. Or like a half moon. Opposite directions, here and here. All right. Now we're going to go to our medium. I need you to get either oil pastels, crayons, or I'm going to use paint. You're also going to need to, it's going to need to be white. So again, a white crayon or white watercolors or tempera will work. Let's get that together and get started on our drawing and painting. I've got my palette of paints out and I'm going to start with my white. Remember, you can also use your oil pastels or crayons, whichever you choose, but we have to have a base of white first for all the feathers to be able to show up in color. All right, I'm going to use my white paint. Roll my brush in the white. I'm going to start with little strokes going one direction to fill in the V shape at the top. Then I'm going to glide my brush one direction on each side to complete the shape, the V shape. Next, after I've rolled my brush or using my oil pastel, I'm gliding my brush all the way around again, around both circles. Then I'm just going to barely touch the little half moons on both sides. Now, by gliding my brush, I'm going to outline the shape of the beak, then lightly fill it in, going over it one time. Next, the chest area. Glide. Keep your white paint ready and filled with white. glide, glide on both sides. Next, down the chest area, I'm going to make little short strokes going all the way from the top to the bottom to make it look like it's textured or lots of feathers is what we're looking for, because we know we have thousands of feathers on our birds. All right, down this side, we're going to make longer strokes going this direction, or we'll just say little half moons. So we're starting at the top and working down. Over here, the opposite direction with the strokes, and they're longer than the chest area. This should be really quick. It's not going to take a long time, just little strokes this direction and that direction. Next, if you noticed over here, you're going to notice the big eyelashes. That kind of keeps it looking kind of funny, and we can add lots of more color. Over here, think about drawing a half moon or just lightly with your brush. Half moon. I'm taking it all the way around. I also like for you to notice the length. They're not really short. Now when I go up the middle, I'm just going to do short lines. All right? I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side, but this side is going an opposite direction. Remember, make them at least 2 fingers wide, especially when you're going around the outside. Going all the way around except that middle section. Now we have actually completed the base coat of the white, and we're ready for the color. I'm going to use paint, tempera paint, again, watercolor or crayon or oil pastels. All right, I'm going to start with a yellow color. And with my yellow, I'm going to make little short strokes. And remember, the black's going to shine through. I want the black to shine through. I'm going to continue a few places with my yellow. Glide, and I'm only going over it one time. I'm filling in the beak, going over it one time with yellow. Next, I'm going to continue with my yellow, and I'm just going to make short strokes all through the chest area. Still seeing that black shining through, because that's what gives it a lot of contrast. Because you know we're using a lot of principles of art here. Line, shape, value, texture, and color. We have all of that in this painting. Glide here and here with my yellow, beak, and this. All right, now we're going to start with another color. Let's go with the blue. I like to use like a royal blue color for this next section. I'm going to go around the inside of the white circle for the eyes, both of them. And you know, every time I do this, I use different colors, so you can pick and choose the colors that you actually like. I just like these colors because they're bright. All right, at the top, the V, outside of the V, I'm going over that with blue. I'm going to continue to use the blue till I'm done with it, because that way you don't have to rinse your brush so much. All right, the eyelashes, I'm going around it one time with the blue. And you have to keep your brush loaded, or especially if you're using paint, of course, or watercolor, so the paint will be dark enough to show up because of the black. All right, continuing with the blue, I'm going to add some blue here and here, using the same technique or strokes, just here and there. And I'm going kind of fast. You're not going to go as fast as what I'm going. You're going to take your time and have a good piece of artwork here. And you can go back and listen and watch the video as many times as you like, or you can also pause it. All right, I'm going to rinse my brush. I've now used yellow and blue. I'm going to go to a purple or a hot pink color. On my palette, it looks a little of both. It could kind of go purple or hot pink. All right, with the purple or hot pink, either one. Now I'm going to go around to the edge of the blue, just real quick, all the way around with the second color around the eyes. both eyes. And again, I'm going super fast. And you don't have to do that. I want you to take your time because you're probably doing this at home and have plenty of time to complete it. All right, down here, little strokes. Notice the gleam of the two different colors, the blue and the purple, how pretty it looks. All right, I have one more side to complete with the purple or pink. All right, I think you can already tell how the different colors are really glowing everywhere. All right, I'm gonna rinse my brush and go to the orange because I wanna add some orange in around where my yellow is. Like I said, to make some lights and darks or value. All right, at the top, some little splurts of orange. Just all around where the yellow is. For the beak, I'm gonna outline it and go over it only one time because if you go over it too many times, it's just gonna pull up the paint. Back to the orange, little strokes all around the belly area. Now I don't wanna wipe out that yellow because I wanna see the yellow. I wanna see both colors. Just loading my brush and adding more and more colors in there. All right, looking pretty good. Let's take a little bit of that orange because you know orange and purple are opposites. And around half of the inside of the circle, I'm gonna add some orange just because they're complements of each other and they look so well together. All right, I'm gonna rinse my brush. What other color do you think I might wanna use? What about adding a little bit of yellow throughout the eyes? That would be nice. Just here and there. I'm gonna add some strokes of yellow just for another accent color. Doesn't have to be all the way around, it could just be on the sides like I'm doing. All right, I'm looking at the wings, and if you see another color you'd like to add, now's the time to add it. For example, I've got some turquoise in here. You can leave it like it is or add what other color you want to. I'm just gonna add this little bit of turquoise in here to see what you think. That adds just a little bit of spark of nice color in there. And I'm also gonna put it around the top of my eye. So anything pretty much goes using different colors. Just keep in mind that you don't have to use paint. You can use oil pastels and crayons. Thanks for joining us for another Fantastic Friday. See you next week.